And that'll be the end of the trilogy. And those characters are going to live on in movies. That's about it. I'm not writing anymore. I swear to you, that's it. I made that commitment yesterday. They're too hard mixed in with everything else. It's the third in the trilogy. It's the end of the 3 novels. Jack Hatfield doesn't die in the book, but he's not going to live with me again unless I made one commitment. If Hollywood produces a movie of one of these novels in the next few years, I might write a 4th. But otherwise, no more. Won't do it. So you better get your copy while you can. If you like Jack in Abuse of Power and you like Jack and Doc, Countdown to Mecca, you're going to love them in Countdown to Mecca, rather. Jack Hatfield, fearless San Francisco freelance journalist. Defrocked former host of the cable TV program Truth Tellers. Doc Matson, former soldier, current merc, trusted ally of Jack. Dover Griffith, one-time Department of Naval Intelligence analyst, now FBI agent and Jack's girlfriend. Saul Minsky, San Francisco-based gangster. Rick, Minsky's driver and bodyguard. Carl Forsyth, FBI director. He was in the other novel. Russian national and assassin is Piotr Onsky, known as Peter Andrews. Then I got the generals. Then I got Anastasia Vincent, the Russian-born escort. Ritu, the Indian-born escort. Miwa, the Japanese-born escort. Daniel Jeffries, Helmut Schoenberg, and Bernie Peters, eccentric physicist based in San Francisco. He's a good character, my crazy eccentric physicist, who I invented based on nobody. Countdown to Mecca. You'll enjoy the book. It's good summer reading coming out next week. Maybe it'll make your early summer. 855-407-2882 is the phone number. Rich on KSFO has a belly. Go ahead, Rich. Go ahead. Make your point.
Mike, I want to thank you so much for the work that you're doing.
All right, come on. I know you want to be sarcastic. Make your point. You're trying to put me down. Go ahead. Go for it.
On behalf of the Clinton campaign of spewing racism and bigotry.
All right, you're giving me a generic statement. Show me what I said that's racist.
Over 70% of communication is tone, of course. And
you don't like my tone? What are you, a mind cop? You idiot, you? What are you, a thought cop? When did you get your badge in thought policing?
I appreciate your comedy. I appreciate you.
I don't know who you are. You're an unknown man who has nothing to do but listen to my show, so obviously you're a loser. Because if you were a real liberal, you wouldn't listen to me, right?
Of course I would listen to you.
Richard, what do you do for a living, Rich? You know what I do. What do you do?
Writer, marketing expert.
Oh, a marketing expert who has nothing to do during the day but call it a conservative talk show and put him down. That's your idea of marketing?
I'm not.
What was the last product you marketed?
You're a successful.
What was the last product you marketed, Rich? You know all about me. I'm on the internet. I've got a 5-page write-up on Wikipedia. I'm a famous man with 25 books to my name. Who the hell are you, Rich?
You do.
Who are you, Rich? Give us the name of one thing you've published, Rich.
On behalf...
Rich, I want to ask you again. Don't try to be too smart because you're not getting anywhere. I want you to name one book you have published, Rich, so we can all see how intelligent you are. What's happened, Rich? Rich, are you there? Savage to Rich. What happened to you, Rich?
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
Back to the Savage Nation. Playing some rock and roll from the great era of rock and roll, before the lyrics became woman-hating and society-hating and gave us Barack Obama. How could a demagogue like this get away with this on a daily basis? A man who's had the skids greased for him from the time he was born. The skids were greased for Obama. He never identified with black radicalism. He even said so in his own autobiography until he went to Columbia. And then he found out when he started to pretend he was a black radical, he suddenly got the attention of all of the girls and the boys, the white idiots, and they started kissing his feet. And take a look. He rode this wave of white guilt all the way to the White House. And he continues to ride the wave of hatred right until the last drop is drunk. Again, stirring up the masses, being a catalyst for fire and hatred, unlike any president in history. It's unbelievable to me. You can only assume he's evil. Diabolical and evil. Now, he doesn't look it and doesn't... See, you people are fooled by it because you think evil comes in a stereotypical form. You assume evil looks sinister. Sometimes The opposite is true. Some of the most evil people don't look evil. We've not learned that from mass murderers. So you got a race baiter like this, a man who would like to burn the country down. And he gets away with it because he doesn't look like he's doing it. That's how clever he is. Again, stirring up the masses. It wasn't enough what happened in Baltimore. He has to now go out on the road and do it again. He wants the next city to come up and fire. You think I'm making this up? Listen to clip 21. This is your president. Go ahead. 21.
Those opportunity gaps begin early, often at birth, and then compound over time, becoming harder and harder to bridge, making too many young men and women feel like no matter how hard they try, they may never achieve their dreams.
Really? Really? And why is that, Mr. Obama? How is it that certain immigrant groups come here of color and they make it to the spelling bee within 3 months? Well, what's that about? How come Indians from India come to America, some of them as poor can be, and within a few months, they're winning American spelling bees, working for their degrees, master's degrees, PhDs, opening businesses? How do you explain that, Mr. Obama? Tell us about this opportunity gap. I mean, they are people of color by definition, aren't they? How come they don't bellyache about lost opportunity? How come Asians come here? I think they're people of color, aren't they? They're certainly not Caucasian. How come Chinese people come to this country, some of them with nothing? Their grandfather was a laborer. The father is a humble worker or, God knows, owned a little shop. And the kids achieve so much. How is that possible? How come that opportunity gap doesn't exist in the Chinese community to the extent that it does in other communities? Can you answer that, Mr. Obama, in all honesty? Can you answer that question? You can't, and that's why you're stirring up the masses, because you are nothing but a demagogue. You're an embarrassment to the word president. Aren't you embarrassed by what you've done in Ferguson and Baltimore? Must you burn other cities to the ground? By telling all of those on the bottom who are no good, who are burning cities down, that they're good, really? That they're justified in burning cities down? You're telling them they're justified now burning a city down? That's what you just said to them. Who's the racist here? Barack Obama. He's a racist from the core. I'm going to go to the callers. I don't even want to waste my time with this character. Kip on KVOR Radio. Welcome to the program. Please tell us what's on your mind.
A few minutes ago, you made a point about who was actually building America and how on all the construction sites it was majorly Hispanic. And I'm a construction worker in Colorado Springs. And being on these construction sites, I am the minority as a Caucasian. So I'm able to talk to a bunch of different people from all aspects of life. And any Hispanics who I've met who were not from this country doing construction and have, talked about just our current issues that are going on with what almost seems to be an epidemic in the black culture, in my opinion, of expecting stuff for free and relying on the government more or less. I just wanted to make a comment that almost every construction worker, white, Hispanic, and the few African Americans that I have met on construction sites do agree with the point that you made that, it's the culture in this black community, and it's Barack Obama who's completely getting everyone reliant on the government. And
Kip, it's 100% true. And truth is the best defense against attacks like I had on this radio show. I know what the Hispanic people are doing in this country. I know what they're thinking, and I know what they're saying. I know it. I've lived here long enough to know what's going on, Kip. And for Obama to lump Hispanics in with blacks is an embarrassment because he knows better than that. First of all, the races don't particularly get along, incidentally. You know that as well, don't you?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
I mean, you want to be a realist? Why suddenly they're people of color? They're all bonded now. He's trying to lump them together to hate white people again. The man is a classic demagogue. It's frightening that he gets away with this. This is the kind of crap you would get from a low-grade sociology professor at a junior college, where there are let us say, no one looking over their shoulder. So they push this left-wing garbage down the kids' throats, and the kids can't fight against it. And they can't say a word against it. Even the Hispanic kids can't rise up and say you're wrong because they're afraid they'll get an F. The man is like a junior college sociology professor, but unfortunately he's in the White House with a booming voice and a smooth delivery, and he owns the media.
I couldn't.
It's why I get agitated. I can't believe these lies.
Amazing what people are believing and just how quick they are to believe it just because it comes out of his mouth and he promised change, and it's just I can't comprehend it.
Well, I can comprehend it. They'll burn the country to the ground unless they're stopped. Kip, let me send you my new novel coming out next week, Countdown to Mecca. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. When it's out in Spanish language, I'll let you know. Right now, it's only in English for the English speaking and reading public. You know, I was reading about the demographics of America. Would you believe that the Caucasian race still represents something like 68% of the population in America? You wouldn't know that according to Obama, would you? He'll turn it around and say that that's why there's no opportunity for the others. Did you know that? Did you know what percent of the population is white, what percent is black, what percent is Hispanic, and what percent is Asian in this country according to the latest census? You know, if you turn the TV on, you'd think it's 50% black, 20% gay, 5% lesbian, and then there's one white kid allowed in, like a white kid with red hair in the mix. That's what the idiots in Hollywood would have you believe is the racial makeup of the United States of America. Go look at it. How about every ad that you turn on from the vermin on Madison Avenue? Look what they produce. Every white man is a moron and a loser, and the wife is the smart one. Everywhere you turn, there's either a black doctor or a black boss. Can you believe what this is? You know, it's bad enough for all the years that they denigrated blacks in the movies and on television. It was terrible. So the black community rose up and said, we want fairness, right? We want more African Americans in movies. We want more African Americans in TV commercials. Now you turn a commercial on. In every commercial, a black woman is the boss. Every show, the judge is a black person. And the white man is either the villain or a moron. That's what Hollywood has done now. Is it any wonder people hate them for distorting reality? Yeah, well, all right, that's the story. America's borders, language, and culture. It's not for everyone. Some people like lies, unadulterated lies coming out of the mouth of the demagogue with forked tongue. I didn't want to get too political today. I really didn't. I wanted to sail. I wanted to coast. I wanted to talk about dreams and metaphors. But unfortunately, I couldn't. So what I should do now is get a little more political. And what we're going to do now is play a piece of my appearance yesterday on the Alex Jones Show in clip 2. The thing is this. We've been penetrated. We've been infiltrated. How high up it goes is anyone's guess. We know that the president's middle name is not Jesus. We know that the military has been told to stand down. We know the police have been told to stand down. We know that there's only one sacred religion in the United States of America, and it isn't the founding religion. It's the invasive religion. And the fact of the matter is, the FBI director who warned us 6 weeks ago, this was just before Hussein's conference, counterterrorism conference in Washington, where he invited Muslim groups. He disinvited the head of the FBI who said that ISIS is in 49 out of the 50 states. Why would he do that to the head of the FBI who warned us? There's only one answer. Someone in that team in the White House is playing for the other side. They're not on our side. The good news is the beefy Texas cops killed the scum. They wiped the scum off the planet and sent them to heaven where they can go rape babies. I guess that's their reward. They get to rape 72 babies in the next world. What a religion. Isn't that great? Kill someone on this planet so you can rape 72 infants in the next world. Doesn't CNN find that obscene and pornographic and sickening? We know we're at war. They've been at war with us for 1,000 years. The president has been at war with America for the time he, left Colombia and discovered his Afro roots. When he was a kid, he didn't identify with his radical side. Read his own autobiography. Then he found out that by acting like a black radical, everyone kissed his feet. And look where he is today, so why should he stop now? He wasn't a radicalized young man, but he found out that the white people fell on their feet the minute he acted out the Black Panther game. Look where he is now. Why should he stop now? He has that scum, Al Sharpton, in the White House 50 times and no one says a word. The anti-police scum, Alex. I get apoplectic over this. Can you imagine if a right-wing president had won the presidency in 2008, and shortly after winning, he invites